Okay, so I always forget to turn on my camera when I'm doing things like this. So I'm going to show you how to cut, peel, and scoop out the seeds of a butternut squash. And I had already gotten started cutting my Brussels sprouts. I soak them first in cold water with just a smidge of vinegar just to clean them. And then all you have to do, they have this hard little piece there from the stem. I cut that and I just peel off the outer leaves. This is garlic from my garden. I can't wait to eat it. Anyways, so I just cut off the end, peel off the outer leaves. And that's all you have to do for your Brussels sprouts. And I always save the little bag because then I can just throw everything right back into it and bring it out to my compost pile. Although I have a lot of green in my compost pile, I need some more brown. So I had some cardboard boxes, not the corrugated ones, just the plain cardboard boxes that I can bring out there. Okay. And most of them I don't cut. These were really small ones. I like them small. Any really big ones, I just cut them in half. Okay, so for your butternut squash, just want to cut off both ends, and it helps if you have a super sharp knife. And then I cut it in half, and then I cut each piece in half because otherwise it is really large and hard to peel. And then once you get that done, use my heavy duty peeler and a spoon to just scoop out the seeds. It's easier if you just kind of stick the spoon in there and start scraping. And see, you're just kind of scraping down like that until you get a nice smooth surface in there. And then once you get it down about halfway, I kind of stand it up on its edge, and it makes it much easier to push down on it and get it all out. And if you know me, you know that I make a mess and I have seeds flying everywhere. I usually save my seeds. I clean them under cold water, dry them, and put them away for next year to put in the garden. But I'm not going to do that this time around.
Again, you just want to go down about halfway, make it nice and smooth, and then tip it up on its side, and it makes it easier to put a little force in there. And just push all those seeds aside, so you have it nice and scooped out clean like that.
And then the easiest way I found to peel them, I start peeling on the edge. Make a couple of runs that way, and a couple of runs this way. And that way, when you go like this, they just come right off nice and easily.
You don't have to do it this way, but out of like a zillion times I have cut and peeled and chopped up butternut squash, I found this to be the easiest way to do it. I don't usually have music playing in the background, but my son graduated from high school and is home right now, and can get very vocal playing video games. So I try to drown it out a little bit with some music. And you want to make sure you get all the peel from butternut squash, because if you don't, when you chew on a nice soft piece of butternut squash, all of a sudden you get this hard rindy thing in there, and it's just not pleasant, especially if you're serving it to guests. So just make sure you get a nice clean peel with your peeler. And if you miss something, just go back and get it. Like that, I just missed this out in piece, just go back and get it. Nice bite-sized pieces. You can cut it however you like, but I feel just kind of smaller bite-sized pieces, it cooks faster. Keep your fingers curled like this. That way if you get too close to them, slow down. That way if you get too close to them, you roll them like this and your knife just kind of goes right there on your finger, on your knuckle. And you don't chop off your finger. Okay.
I always like to make a flat cut because when you hold it up like this, if it's like this, it's all over the place, and just always want to be cautious in the kitchen, that's all. So cut it in half. I don't like it too small, but I don't like it too big either. I like a lot of garlic. It is really, really healthy for you. That's all you need to do to start it peeling. You just gotta kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit just to break the rest of it up. It all comes off. And the little ones, you don't usually need to cut the ends off. And you can cut it as big or small as you like. I tend to like it just kind of diced up, sort of smaller. Although I love garlic, I could bake an entire head of garlic in the oven, roast it, and just eat it right up. I love garlic so much. And I used to use my knife to scoop, but I cut my finger once, so that is never a good idea. You're always better off using one of these. Just scoop it right up. And that's all you have to do. Now, you can either use a little bit of olive oil if you use oil in your cooking. Most times I don't, sometimes I do. It depends on what it is. Or you can just use a little bit of vegetable broth, which is what I'm going to use today. And again, I don't like to show brands because I'm not exactly sure how that works, and I'm not reviewing the vegetable oil. Most of the time I make my own. It's super easy. You just cut up vegetables, carrots, beets, celery, onions, whatever. You stick them in a big, huge pot, let them get browned, and then add some water to it, and scrape off the brown bits from the bottom. Fill the pot with water and just let it boil. Put some spices in there, and then you just strain out all the vegetables and you have homemade veggie broth. And it's really good for you because it's got way less sodium or no additives, anything like that. Although this brand, I'm hoping I'm covering it up good, is actually a really great brand and I like it a lot. I also don't salt when I'm cooking. This is pepper. Because you tend to use a lot. The salt kind of loses its flavor while it's cooking, almost like dissipates during the cooking process. So I wait and I do what's called finish salting. And that's just at the very end. As soon as I take it out of the oven, I take a little bit of salt, sprinkle it all over, and that's all you need. I also have some rosemary that I dried myself, and I just scrunch it up. Actually, what happened for real was I got this gorgeous rosemary plant for Christmas from one of my clients. And it was beautiful. It was huge. It looked like a really pretty Christmas tree. I'm a beginning gardener, and I do so-so in a regular garden. Herbs, for some reason, within a month, gone. I kill them. So that's what happened to this one. So instead of just throwing it away, I actually hung it upside down in a paper bag and just shook all the rosemary off of it. And I've been using it ever since. I had a huge paper bag full of it. I ended up putting some of it in this little plastic bag, which I don't really like to use plastic, but that's a whole nother video. So that's all I do. And just kind of, oops, lost one. Just kind of move it around so that the vegetable broth gets all over everything. Spread it out nice and even. Stick it in a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. It gets nice and browned on the top, and you're good to go. Okay, so we'll be back in 45. Oh, that looks fantastic. Yeah, nice and browned. And this is when I put a little bit of salt on. And I don't use table salt, ever. Table salt has been chemically stripped of pretty much everything good, and then it's been bleached and synthetic chemicals have been added back in. So I use either Himalayan pink salt, which is what this was, or I use Redmond sea salt or Celtic salt. Any of those will be good. They'll give you a ton of minerals and a lot of great nutrients. So table salt is a no. Any type of sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, that's great. And then you just a little bit of finished salt, and it's all you need. And when it cools down a little bit, then we'll have some lunch and dinner and lunch the next day. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like and the subscribe.